welcome or welcome back to Orange Blossom Knits. I'm home from Flock, all in one piece. Not that I wouldn't have been, but I am here to tell you about my trip. So I think the way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna do the video clips chronologically. So we'll have Friday Seattle stuff, all day Saturday Flock stuff, and then Sunday more Seattle stuff. We did have tickets for both days, but we hit our yarn budget by the end of Saturday. So we talked about going back on Sunday just because it was such an amazing experience and we wanted to maybe be around other knitters, but we decided that we wanted to soak up some outdoor time because even though it was gray, it was not raining, and the weather was quite nice, and it was it's 100 degrees here. The actual temperature is 96, which means the feels like temperature is probably close to 110 today. So yeah, we were excited to spend some time outside and not die of heat stroke. So I will put what's the word? Timestamps is the word. I will put timestamps below for the Flock versus the Seattle stuff. That way, if you want to just watch the Flock stuff, you can. You don't have to necessarily hang around for the Seattle stuff if you don't want to. And as far as the Flock stuff goes, I think I'm going to do clips and then haul and then more clips and then more haul. So it's not just all like video clips and then all just me talking. So that's going to be the plan. So let's get into the video. day. We're here, we're standing in line. They just started letting people in, so I'm excited. I know, there are so many people back here. Yeah, that's pretty. Only really filming one side. I think the line's over here. I think the line is over here. I've been here for 15 minutes and I'm already buying a sweater quantities worth of yarn. So the yarn budget going real well. Did you find everything you were looking for?
I did. Unfortunately, these are all holy grail items and not even touching my budget. So we're doing a lot of big spending.
So when I tell you we beelined for Explore Knits and Fibers, first of all, did you see the crowd in that clip? That was like, we were maybe 25, 50 people deep in the, I don't know. I honestly don't know how many people were ahead of us, but like, it wasn't that many. We weren't that far back in the line. And like, did you see the number of people that were in the Explore Knits and Fiber booth first thing in the morning? And the whole reason that we heard about Flock, and when I say we, I'm referring to my friends Erica and Jen and I, the whole reason we even found out about Flock was because Allie from Explore Knits and Fibers was posting about it on her Instagram. And none of us could make it to Denver last year in December for the winter market. We just couldn't justify one day in December going for yarn. But then she was talking about going to Flock, and we were like, well, we absolutely can go to Seattle for a weekend 6 months from now. And so we started making plans for that. And then the week before the festival, she started putting up the colorways that she was bringing, and there were some holy grail colors in the lineup for both Jen and I. So when I say we beelined to Explore Knits and Fibers, we beelined to Explore Knits and Fibers. And I will show you what I got the first time we were in that booth, because they'll come back later. But what I got was the colorway Barrel Aged Sour. So pretty. This is on the Earthy DK, which is the non-superwash DK, 246 yards in 100 grams. I am going to use this to make an Emily Curtis dad sweater, which is why I got the non-superwash, the non-superwash. Feels weird to say that because usually what I buy is superwash yarn. I really like this. I also I like it here, very like muted and watercolory. I also really like it on the superwash, and I almost bought some on superwash too, but I thought I don't need 2 sweater quantities of the same yarn when I'm only allowed to buy 5 sweater quantities. So I just got it on this one. And since that pattern is like for more of a vintage dad sweater, I thought this slightly, not rough, I don't want to call it rough, but this slightly more rustic yarn would be good for that. So I'm really excited. That is a worsted weight pattern, and this is DK weight yarn. Again, I don't really need a worsted weight sweater in Florida. And based on the gauge of my Dear Duomo sweater, which is a DK weight pattern, it's not that far off from the gauge of the pattern. So I probably will end up just doing some swatching and figuring out which size I want to make. But yeah, that will be a 2024, maybe a 2025 project. We'll see. I don't knit that fast. And then the other thing I got in my first pass at Explore Knits was this skein of Killarney National Park. It's so pretty. I already have 2 skeins of this. I'm going to use it as the second color in my half and half wrap. And I have 2 skeins, but I was feeling yarn insecure about it because I feel like my half and half wrap, I cast on a number of stitches that are like in between the small and the large size, but I feel like it's like getting out of control. And so I was a little worried that I would not have enough of this. So, and it's, you know, obviously not as easy to get as like getting more of the Pearl Soho if you end up needing that. So since she had it, I got another skein. And I did sort of dig through them to find the one that had like the most pink, or at least it looks like it's the most pink. Because I do like pink and green together, but it is primarily gonna be a pink shawl. So I have an extra skein of this. And then the other thing is I just like this colorway. So if I don't end up using it all in my half and half, then I have it for another product. So that is what I got at Explore Knits. Okay, so then the next place we went, actually, and I didn't take any video of it, but was the Flock merchandise booth, where I got this super cute tote bag with the little sheepies on it. Look how cute it is. It's a giant tote bag. Look, I mean, it's bigger than my head, as wide as my torso. It's a giant bag, and I love it. Jen and I got the last two bags that they had there at the show. They were doing a pre-order, so you can actually still get it online. I think the pre-order goes until Monday. So if you want this bag, where they have a t-shirt with the same design, and they had like a little project bag, maybe that big. So if you want it, you can go online and order it. But we specifically did not take tote bags because our plan was to buy this one and use it as the tote bag of the day. And so we were like, what are we gonna do? Because neither of us brought a bag for all this yarn we're planning on buying, which honestly, we might have just bought less yarn. But then they scrounged two up for us. So I got this super adorable Flock Fiber Fest bag. And then after that, we went to the Mercerie booth, where I did buy yarn, but I don't have it to show you. They had all of their colors of the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. Like, they actually had all of the colors that they carry in all of the different yarns. So they had like the mohair and the pure silk and the merino, and they were all like stacked up on these little dowels. And so like you could go to each color and like feel all the different yarns. I have been wanting the mohair for my Cargill sweater, and so I ordered it, and it's going to be here on Tuesday. So yay for that. I was able to like hold up a couple different blues and decide which one I wanted. I forget the name of the one that I wanted, but it was like a more bluey one of the like navy blues. So hopefully pull like more of the blue out of the Skelly, which is the yarn, gonna be the main yarn. So that is what I bought at the Mercerie booth. And then also look, I'm incredibly awkward. I don't know if you guys can tell that on camera, but I'm an incredibly awkward human being, and I'm even more awkward in person because I will tell you, this is the second time I've filmed this video. I film almost all my videos twice, because what happens, it's like I have to get all of the words out of my head into the camera, and then I go back and look at it and I'm like, I am a frenetic squirrel and I need to calm down. And so this is the calm down version of me. Someone came up to me or I bumped into her. I don't know that she necessarily came up to me and was like, oh, you're Orange Blossom Knits. I just watched your video. And I was like so taken aback because like, I can see that there are views on these videos, but honestly, I assume that 90% of them are people that I know. Like in real life, no. So to have somebody just like out of the blue come up and say, oh, I watched your videos. And then I basically ran away from her because I was so overwhelmed. And then I walked away and was like, I didn't even like ask her name or tell her thank you. I'm pretty sure I was just like, oh, that's nice, and then ran away. But if that was you, if you're still watching, if I didn't totally put you off watching these videos with how awkward I am in person, thank you so much. It meant so much to me, and I literally did not shut up about it to my friends for the rest of the day. So I was so overwhelmed by it, but also like it really made my day. So thank you. sometimes I don't enunciate. And I got stitch markers, and I'm gonna show you both sets. I got 2 sets, and I got to meet Reshma and her sweet husband, who were there selling these beautiful stitch markers. I got these ones because Jen said they reminded her of me, which I can totally see. These are very me colorways. This set actually came with 2 more of these little ones, but I was so excited to use them that they're already on a project. I'm using them as the beginning of round markers for the sleeve on my Cozy Classic raglan. So that's why there are only 2 stitch markers on this card. But I'm pretty sure these are from her Endless Summer collection, which like feels appropriate. These feel like very summery colors. They also feel like very me colors. It's like teals and pinks. Anyway, I like these ones a lot. Also, these are the ones the kinds that I actually like to use because they're flat. There is some texture on here and on this one too, but they're flat. I'm not worried that I'm gonna break them. The other ones that I got, they're all twisted on the little card. Oh, please. Untwist, my lovelies. The other ones I got, and this might be my favorite Flock purchase, period, is these ones, because you guys, they have orange blossoms on them. So first of all, the colors are the exact colors of my opening and end credits, and they have orange blossoms on them. But I'm gonna see if you can see it on the camera, like that it's raised away from the bed of the stitch marker. So these are so beautiful, and I know that Reshma crafts all of these stitch markers individually by hand, and I am terrified that I'm gonna break it, both because it's beautiful and because it was pricey. Not that it's not worth it, because again, handcrafted individually. So not that it wasn't worth the price that I paid for it, but they're too expensive for me to lose or break. So these may stay on this card, and I will just look at them and say how lovely and perfect they are. But every time I look at them, it makes me happy. Look, there's like an individual little orange blossom back here. It's so pretty. I love them. I might use the little ones, but like this is so pretty. I would wear this as jewelry. She had some really pretty jewelry there, but I was not in the market to buy jewelry at the Fiber Festival because I needed to save my budget to spend on fiber things. So, but yeah, I love these so much. I love them. I love them. I am 100% certain she's not watching this, but if you are, Reshma, these are beautiful. And they might possibly be my favorite thing that I bought at Flock. To save my budget to not buy non-fiber things, but I did buy a couple of mugs. I got this one. This is from Pennington Design, and I stood in the Pennington Designs / Denim and Rain booth for a long time, debating between this mug and one that was like a more me color. It was like white, and then the inside was pink, but it had a handle. But this is look, my thumb, it's on the wrong, here, I'll do it with this side. My thumb perfectly fits in that thumb hole. It's amazing. It's perfect. I carry a lot of tension, both from my knitting and other things, in this part of my thumb, like down through the bottom of my hand. So the fact that my thumb fits perfectly in this, and this mug gets pretty warm when I put coffee in it, and then it's like sitting, hopefully, I've already used this, so hopefully there wasn't water in it when I tipped it over. Basically, it's like holding a heating pad in my hand while I drink my coffee. So it's therapeutic. It has excellent therapeutic value, and it's really pretty. And apparently, I was like, yeah, that's probably not dishwasher safe. And she said, no, it is. It's dishwasher safe. I will not put this in the dishwasher because I don't want it to get damaged, even though she said it's dishwasher safe. So yes, I have already used this. I used it yesterday. I did not use it this morning because I used a different one that I also got at Flock that I'll talk about in a minute. But Pennington Designs, she had some really pretty like Flock exclusive ones that I think she's doing pre-order for. So all the vendors will be linked down, at least the ones that I mentioned, will be linked down below. So if that pre-order is still going on, definitely recommend. And I do like this green color. Green is one of my favorite colors. Purple is my actual favorite color, but green is up there on the list. Okie dokie. So, how fun was that booth? I did get a skein of yarn from them. This is from Superglo Fibers. Is that upside down? Yes. And this is called Birthday Glow, and it is in the DK weight yarn. This is 100% superwash merino. I am going to use this as the contrast stripe in my downtown hoodie, which the main color is going to be the Camellia Fiber Company Magic Rainbow Sprinkles, wherein the sprinkles are UV reactive, and this is also UV reactive, so the whole thing is gonna glow. I'm so excited. I got to talk to the dyer for a little bit, and she said that 98% of her yarn, like it's all UV reactive, it's just that some colors react better than others. That's why I chose this one, because it has the colors that react the best, and I am very excited. I think my Camellia Fibers yarn is a sport weight yarn. This did not have a sport weight. It was either fingering weight or DK, and I chose the DK because one fingering weight skein doubled wasn't going to be enough, but one DK weight skein is. So it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I thought it was the garbage truck, but they came through a little bit ago, so I don't know what he's barking at, but he needed to come and say hello. Stop barking, please. Yes, I know. What are you so worked up about? You want to say hi to the people? Who are you talking to? Huh? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? If I let you go, will you be quiet? Okay, let's try. Quiet, please. The next thing I got was this Miss Babs yarn. I'll put this around so that I can see the tag. This is their damask base. This was the first yarn we came across that was a blend, like a non-wool blend. So that's exciting. Remember, before we went in my last podcast, I was talking about how I really wanted to look for summer fibers. So this is the Miss Babs. It's the damask base in the colorway Topaz. It is 65% cultured silk and 35% bleached linen. And again, the colorway is Topaz. And I kind of like because that it's like already marled, because the linen doesn't take the dye the same way the silk does, or maybe the silk doesn't take, they take the dye differently. And so it's already kind of naturally marled. I really like this color, and I think it's a good color for me. Like I said, green is one of my favorite colors. I'm gonna use this to make an Uptown Tee by Tori Yu. So that's what I make this out of. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'm really excited to try this. I wouldn't say it is soft, but it's soft in a different way than like wool yarn is soft. It's more like slippery? Yeah, I'm gonna go with slippery. It's more like slippery, but it's not, even with this linen, it's not, maybe because it's bleach, I don't know. Like, I find the linen in the linen quill to be like scratchy almost, and this does not feel scratchy, it feels soft. So, yeah, Miss Babs yarn. Sure. 2 project bags from All Knit Up Designs. I got this one. They had this, I think you could see it in the clip, they had this in a different colorway, and from far away I saw that and I was like, that's so cool. It's a knitting project bag made of knitting. And then I got close to it and realized it was fabric. But I wanted this blue one. And it has these snaps. Apparently the snaps are new for them. Traditionally they do zippers, but I think I'm gonna like the snaps. So here's it. This is the small size, I believe. Maybe the medium size. I got this one. And then I got this one, which is, again, more traditional zipper top. It has these cute sheepies on it, which seemed appropriate for Flock. And then pink, of course. And this cute, like, ticking stripe inside. Anybody know why it's called ticking? I actually really like this pattern. I've been looking for bed sheets in this pattern. My comforter is, like, floral, and so I've been looking for bed sheets with this, like, ticking stripe pattern. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to start using these. My Cozy Classic Raglan has outgrown the project bag that it started in, which is like a makeup bag that my mom got on Amazon and didn't like and gave to me. So it's outgrown that now that it has sleeves. So maybe I'll transfer it into this. Both of these bags, they don't feel like just like fabric and then lining. They're like squishy. So I think they're like, they must have like some batting or some interfacing in them because they're like squishy, which is nice. I'm really excited to use both of these.
Across the bridge, we live just up there. And so when we moved on to
So this is like merino, linen, silk, and cotton base, but I can't decide between these 2 colors.
Which will she pick?
Which will I pick? I don't know. Should we go with the red or the white? I guess it'll be a surprise at the end of the video. So are you ready to see which color I got? You're probably not going to be surprised. Do you want to guess before I put this up here? I got the white ones. Of course, they're upside down. Oh no, they're not. They're just backwards on the camera. I got the white ones. I'm gonna use these for my Ingrid top. So this is their cottage fingering base. It is 50% merino, 20% linen, 15% silk, and 15% cotton. And this is pretty soft, you guys. I'm excited to try this. This is, I was looking to see if the yardage was on here. Oh yeah, 435 yards for 100 grams. So I probably only needed 2 skeins of this, but it's fine. It's not like I'm not going to use white cotton yarn. There was also a really pretty like bluey mint color that I really liked, and I liked the red, white, and blue together. But I'm going to make my Ingrid top out of this, and so when we looked at the pattern, the girls and I decided that the white was the best choice. So I'm excited about that. Also at the Lavender Kid, and I'm going to talk about Moondrake. I, for whatever reason, don't have any video clips of Moondrake, but these yarns are potentially for the same project, so I'm just going to talk about them at the same time. So also at the Lavender Kid, I got a skein of their yarn Birdie, which is 74% alpaca and 26% silk. I got this colorway, which maybe has a name, Lilla. Lilla. I'm gonna assume that's Lilla. And then from Moondrake, I got this skein of the Fua yarn in the electric lilac. So one of these, I haven't decided which one yet, is going to be for my tessellated vest. I could not find the picture, so the other contrast color is going to be the Sorella yarn. It's going to be Sorella from the Taylor Swift Eras collection in the color Enchanted, which is like a variegated sort of white and pink and lavender. And when I was in the Moondrake booth, I couldn't find the picture. I knew I had one because I had to make the card to put the picture up in the last video. So I had one, I just couldn't find it. And the cell service in there was not great because it was a converted airplane hanger. So I was just guessing, and I got this one. But then I finally found it, and when I was in the Lamb and Kid booth, I thought this might be better. And then I was muttering to myself in the booth, and one of the grocery girls heard me and was like she said she thought either one of these would work. It's just that with this one it would be more tonal, and with this one it would be more like a pop of color. So hopefully, I know Sorella ships as they dye, and I saw them dyeing Enchanted the other, like before we left for Flock, and that's the only thing I ordered was one skein of that. So hopefully it will be here soon, and I will do the queen of not swatching. Well, probably not the queen of not swatching. I know there are other people who don't swatch, but I, who do not like to swatch, will probably do some swatches to see which color I like best and like what vibe I want to go for. And then maybe I'll put them on Instagram and solicit opinions. But that's what I got at the Lamb and Kid and Moondrake. Hello again. We're getting there. We are getting there. I have these 2 skeins that I'm going to show you from Sea Change, and then I have 2 more. So I bought these ones from Sea Change. Again, this is a summer weight blend. This is 25% merino / rambouillet and 75% cotton. And this is called Bay Shore Fingering. This is their Bay Shore Fingering base, and the colorway is Plum Dandy. Now, I'm very excited that the cotton, there's more cotton than merino in this, although I think the wool is what's helping keep it soft, and I hope that it will help it retain some of that memory, since cotton doesn't have that and stretches out as you wear, and I'm hoping having that slight amount of wool content will keep the garment fitting. I'm gonna use this for, I forget, seedling tea. But this came in lots of colors, so if I like it, I might buy more. Also, I live in Tampa, and Bayshore Boulevard is the main road that runs along the bay here, and so it seemed apropos. Bayshore Boulevard, Bayshore Boulevard. Also, I like this color. It's a sort of dusty, sorry, my hair is like in my face. It's this sort of dusty purple, which I actually think I could wear for a lot of seasons. It's like bright enough that you could wear it in spring and summer, but like not so bright and pastel-y that you couldn't wear it in the fall. Occasionally we can wear t-shirts in winter, like especially under a jacket with jeans. So I'm excited to use this. This might get moved up the project queue, because not only because I'm excited about the yarn, but because, come on, focus, but because I think I could get a lot of wear out of this. So Sea Change Fibers. Also, I love their logo. Octopuses are my favorite animal. One of my favorite animal. Octopuses and giraffes are my favorites. So. So then we went back to the Botanical Yarns booth. We had been there earlier in the day, and their yarn was very pretty. And they had this beautiful, you can see it in the clip, that there's a crochet blanket that's in the star. Looks like a star quilt. That is all crochet. I do not crochet, but that is like almost enough to make me want to learn to crochet, because that blanket was stunning. But I'm not gonna learn to crochet on hand-dyed yarn. My mom would love if I learned to crochet. She's a crocheter. But the first time, so this is what I got at Botanical Yarns. I actually got 4 of them. One of them is at my friend Jen's house because when we transferred the yarn, we packed it all in one bag to come home, and then one skein accidentally stayed with her when we distributed it when we got home. So this is their mohair base. It is 72% kid mohair and 28% silk. This is the colorway Mandara. Now, when we were in this booth in the morning, I passed this. I said, man, neons are definitely having a moment, and Barbie is definitely having a moment, but I don't need that. And then we went back because Jen wanted to look at some of their yarn, and they had this gorgeous sample knit of the Wanderlust sweater knit with this mohair and matching pink yarn. Now I have mohair fuzz in my mouth. With this mohair and matching pink yarn. And I am pretty certain, I have my iPad here with my clips all in order already. Give me 1 second and I'll see. Yeah, you can see the sample at the end of the clip. I saw that sweater and I was like, well, I need to make that. And so then I had to buy the mohair. Which meant I'm just gonna do this all together and then there will be one more clip. I had to go back to Explore Knits and Fibers because when we were there in the morning, I didn't get in my neon era because I said to myself, you don't have anything in mind to knit with that. You don't need a hot pink sweater. But then I got that mohair, and so I needed to get this yarn to go with it. And now, obviously, I know that these are not the same color. Like, this is much deeper. This is much, like, actually more neon. Okay, wait, let me intersperse them. But I think they will marl together pretty well. And I'm gonna make that Wanderlust sweater with it. And even though I'm not a hot pink girly, I'm gonna have a hot pink sweater. And I am so this project specifically, I have been having to talk myself out of casting on every day since we've been home. Every single day. I want to cast this on so badly. So my plan, tentatively, is to get this Wanderlust sweater knit before I go to Rhinebeck, before I go to New York. Now, I'm knitting my buddy knit with Jen and our other friend Jen. We're all knitting Cozy Classic Raglans. They're doing the original. I'm doing the light in a color block style. So we'll have those sweaters. I have that sweater that I have to finish. Although I made a lot of progress on that at Flock. And I want to make a tessellated vest because that's the pattern everybody's knitting right now. And I'm not usually a knit what everybody else knits kind of person, but I like that vest a lot. And I think it'll be really cute, styled with like an oversized button-down shirt and leggings and boots for the fall. And it'll be a nice, if it's, I have heard that like sometimes it's pretty warm at Rhinebeck. Now, obviously that is relative. Obviously it's not gonna be 115 degrees, but I've heard that sometimes it's pretty warm there. And so I thought that also would be a nice, like, if it's too warm for like a full sweater, that would be a nice alternative. So we're gonna do, for sure, the Cozy Classic Raglan and the tessellated vest. And I wanna try and get this done. Now it's the middle of August. That is not until the middle of October. So maybe if I do nothing but knit and when I'm not at work and I don't sleep, maybe I could get them all done. But this is the third project. If I don't get this done, I will be working on it while I am at Rhinebeck. So that is everything that I bought at Flock Fiber. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to come on and like recap the experience. And that last clip was from our second. Oh, I have 2 other things that I forgot to show. When we went back to Explore Knits, I got this mug, which I think they originally commissioned for their like summer yarn day at their studio. I forget what they call it. But I like this mug a lot. There is some water in it from when I washed it, because again, this is the mug I used this morning. It's great. And I got a bottle of wool wash from Sorella. This is the Sweater Weather scent, and I think the notes in this are apple, pumpkin, and cedar. It smells so good. I don't know why it's sealed. I don't know why I'm smelling it. But now I have this one, and then I got one from the Disney collection, maybe Bippity Boppity Boo, that's more like floral. So I have a spring one and a fall one. And obviously, like, I just love her packaging. It's so like girly, but like understated. I love it. I love her packaging. So, okay, those are the actual last 2 things I bought. Now I want to talk about like the Fiber Festival. It was amazing. They did such a good job. Like, there were enough vendors that you felt like it was worth, like, we made the trip all the way from Florida, and so there were enough vendors there that you felt like it was worth making the trip from Florida and buying the tickets to the Fiber Festival, but it wasn't so many. Like, I'm a little worried that Rhinebeck is gonna still, even having been to this, I'm worried that it's gonna be overwhelming. But this was just amazing, and I heard it described both as like diving into knitting Instagram, like knitting Instagram live, and like knitting summer camp. And I think both of those things are true. While he was barking, I was just sitting here putting all of this yarn. I say away, but really I'm just putting it back into the Flock Fiberfest bag because there's not enough room on the room on the yarn shelves for all of this yarn. So I'll have to get the yarn bin that's stored in my closet out and do some rearranging. Decide which skeins I want to keep out and look at every day and which ones can go into deep storage. I think he might be done barking. I totally forgot where I was in the point of talking about, in relation to talking about Flock. I think I said that I heard it described as both knitting summer camp and like knitting Instagram live. And both of those things are true. There were so many people there that I have followed online, and that you know, they share so much of themselves and their craft on Instagram, and they were all so nice, and like so gracious. It was so lovely to meet them all. I didn't really take pictures with a lot of people or even ask people for pictures. One, because I'm awkward and I don't know how to do that in a way that's not awkward, but also because I wanted to just like have authentic experiences and not like, obviously like I was vlogging and taking video of stuff, but I also didn't want to be like living behind my phone. And you will notice, like, as I get deeper into Sunday Seattle stuff, I took less videos and some still pictures because I'm not a professional content creator and I got tired of taking videos of everything. Anyway, but everybody was so like nice and gracious. And when we said we came from Florida, they had so many like questions about like what the knitting community is like here. And I know that there is a knitting community here. There's the Bay Area Knitting Guild. There is a pretty big local yarn store in Winter Haven. I just haven't had a chance to go there, but I haven't had the experience yet of going to a place and just being surrounded by other people sharing the same like craft that I am doing. And so that was a really amazing experience, just to like talk to people about their projects and see people just like hanging out in the grass, knitting, and enjoying each other's company. And like basically it was just like one great big love fest for knitting and for each other, which is so amazing. I would definitely go back again. I would definitely go back to Flock again. I don't know that we'll be able to swing going all the way to Seattle every year, or even that my yarn budget can afford for me to go every year. But I would definitely go again. It was an amazing experience. And I am so glad that it was our first Fiber Festival. I also think that I learned some things about going to a Fiber Festival that I will carry forward into a larger event like Rhinebeck. So like I had set the sweater quantity, like yarn amount, and I didn't really go over it. I bought 6 sweater quantities, but one of them was that Knitting for Olive sweater quantity that I had previously planned for wasn't part of the like 5 that I had set for myself. So I didn't go over that way, even with the last minute hot pink yarn sweater. That's technically 2 sweater quantities because it's 2 different kinds of yarn, whatever. But I did go over in the non-yarn stuff category. So I think the lesson, because it's real easy to just like hand over your credit card. So I think 1, for non-yarn things in the future, cash. Or if you don't want to manage cash, like I would get like maybe one of those like Visa or MasterCard gift cards that's just like you load it with however much you want. That way, like once the money on that is gone, then it's gone. And you're not just like handing over your credit card. The other thing is, it's just sheer dumb luck that I didn't go over the sweater quantity budget, because I was not counting skeins. I mean, I was counting skeins for individual projects, thinking like, oh yeah, I need 3 for this and 2 for that, but it's just sheer dumb luck that I didn't end up going over. So Jen and I talked about making like little index card punch cards. Probably not an actual punch card, because who wants to carry around a whole punch, but you know, bring a pen or a marker or whatever, like you do when they, you know, buy 5 whatever and get the 6th one free. Only it's once you fill in all your boxes, then you're done buying yarn. Just as a way to help keep track of how much you're buying. Because yeah, it was real easy. It's just dumb luck that I didn't go over. It was very easy to just be like, this is gorgeous and I want it, and here's my credit card. So yeah, definitely carrying some of those lessons into future fiber festivals. With the exception of like knowing that there were specific things at Explore Knits that I really wanted, that I have been searching for a while. I like the idea in the future of making a full pass before you actually buy anything. We did not do that. Obviously, I've started buying like pretty immediately. And there are vendors that I know, like I went to all the booths, but there's stuff that I just don't remember. Like I see people post stuff and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that like at all. And so I think like making a full pass and sort of like taking notes of like what was where, and maybe coming back to things like later on to do your purchasing. 1, I think that will help with the just like freneticness and not keeping track of things in my brain, but also to have like a better idea of what is there. And then if you miss out on like a particular colorway or a particular blend, then it just wasn't meant to happen this time. And you know, the things that are meant for you will find you. So definitely learned some things, but overall had just an amazing experience. I'm so glad we went. I really love Seattle. We got pretty lucky. It rained on Saturday, the day that we were at Flock. We were in Saddle Day, so it didn't really bother us. And then obviously Friday was beautiful. Sunday was overcast, but it did not rain, which was nice. I mean, not nice that it was overcast, but nice that it didn't rain. And it was nice to just get a break from this, you know, everyday heat advisory that we've been having going on here. So yeah, so I have the rest of my Seattle trip coming up next, but if you don't want to hang around for that, by all means, bounce. And thank you for sticking with me for this long, and have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're having a good day. Editing me here. I also wanted to say that I came back from Flock very like inspired in my knitting. It's not that I don't like the project that I'm working on. Like, I'm really excited to finish my Cozy Classic Raglan. Now that I'm more into the cables, I'm enjoying the cable project that I'm working on for my mom. Like being around so many other knitters and seeing like what they were buying, what they were wearing, what they were working on left me so inspired. Like to the point where, like I kind of said when I was holding up the pink yarn, I have to like keep talking myself out of casting on all the things. First of all, most patterns call for the same like 3, at least that I knit, call for like the same 3 sizes of needles. I only had so many pairs of those. But also I would find that to be very overwhelming if I came home and cast on 6 new projects and had the 3 that I was already working on. And like, I feel like that would actually cause the inspiration to fizzle out. But meanwhile, I'm just over here like so excited about some of these upcoming projects because I love some of that yarn so much. And I loved seeing like, so when I looked at it online, I thought that mini mock neck tank, not for me. not a thing that like I would wear. I don't like a crop. I don't like shit around my neck. Like, not for me. But then I saw so many people wearing it in ways that are very different from how it looks like in the test photos and in the pattern photos. Like there was this one woman there and she had it like, it wasn't loose, like it was fitted to her. It was like a slight bit longer than like super cropped. And then she had it on with these like button fly, like wide leg jeans. It was a vibe. And I was 100% into it. But it was so cute. And I'm like, I could definitely make that the way that she made it, make that pattern the way that she made it, and like it would be something that was totally wearable for me. So like just like being around other people and seeing their projects, like I came home so incredibly inspired. So editing me needed to toss that in here.